We're now in the second half of October. Obviously it's that time of year when it's going to be overcast a lot, it's going to be damp, it's certainly getting cooler. And to me, this is the time of the year to especially come into the places like the woods, not to look up into the trees, but to look down. I'm travelling a bit light today, left all the gear in the car, just literally got my action cam here to record, got my camera on a tripod, only with my 100mm macro lens. I came here last weekend, but the other end of the woods, it doesn't really matter what woods you go to. Any local woods will be fine. This one is actually quite big. It's just southeast of Carlisle. It's a place called High Stand Woods. The idea is just to walk around here. I haven't been this end, and keep an eye on the floor. I've walked literally 100 yards up the roadway there and already come across a couple of sets of mushrooms. That's where I've walked up from, and straight away here I've got these set of mushrooms on here, which by the looks of it are all round the back here. And I've got to say, it looks really smart. Some really nice condition ones there, but the ones I've just set the camera up on, it's another pile over here, and I mean, that's absolutely massive, the amount of mushrooms there. But I'm concentrating on these little ones on the front here at the minute, and so you can see my setup here. Got the tripod with the camera down as low as possible, and I don't know whether that will show there on the display, but that's sort of like what I'm dealing with. Manual settings, long exposure times, and even on something like this, you've got such a shallow depth of field, but need to do a little bit of housekeeping here. So I've got this bit of grass that keeps waving over the top there, and I've got a leaf stuck in the front here. This thing would be nice to get rid of if I can just bend it out of the way. But everything else there now looks hopefully a lot better. Also just using my phone to control everything. I just took a couple of test images at different focus points just to see what they come out like. But I'm going to use on my camera what's called focus bracketing. So I just now need to find the closest point in focus, tell the camera to take the picture, and it's going to take about 30 images, and then stack all the images together. So it's just taking all the photos at the minute, and if I look now at the final image, I've now got an image which is sharp from the front through to the back. So it's not until you take your photographs that you actually notice these little things. And I did have another large leaf in the front here, which I've just cleared out. So just going to take another picture there. Now, the other thing as well is that this one's actually not badly lit, but what I can also do is switch the flashlight on my phone, and look, if you want to get a bit more light in there, you can use your phone. So I'm going to try this. I've just moved across to these first ones that I spotted, and at the moment it's taking 40 images, and these are 2.5 second exposures. I've just took one set, but this time I've just lowered the camera a little bit more to look up. I've only just walked probably another 50 yards down the road here, and sometimes you just got to get off the little beaten track a little bit, just come up the top here on the bank, and there are a few odd mushrooms around. You just have to be careful where you're walking, because what looks like leaves can sometimes be mushrooms. Another one there, which they're not all in brilliant condition, but then I just come across this little piece of moss area here, and it's just got this, what looks like a perfect little mushroom on there. And I've got to say, that's come out really, really nice. And it just goes to prove you don't have to go very far whatsoever, because I'm still just taking another image of that one, and I've already found loads more. There's these little small ones here, all over the place. That one actually looks quite nice. There's another one there which looks like it's been trampled or something, and probably doesn't show on this camera here, but all down the bank on this side there's mushrooms there everywhere, possibly some further down there, but it's a bit hard to tell with all the autumn leaves down, because everything sort of blends in, so you do have to have a walk around. I've just spent probably half an hour just on that one bank there. Everywhere you walk, just different mushrooms to see all the time, so got a reasonable selection of probably 3 or 4 varieties there. Have no idea what they're called. I'm sure somebody will inform me of those, but I'm going to carry on walking along just to see if I can find anything different. Now I've just walked another 50, 100 yards up the pathway and just come off the road there, so I'm on the opposite side this time, and come across this lot. So there's a whole host of them here. They all look the same, certainly the same species. I'm not sure whether these ones are the same as well. I think they probably are, but they've got very thin tops with the top curving upwards. I mean, there's a nice large one up there. And it's interesting because it's got what looks like an older one right next to it. Now I've just put the camera into video mode here so you can see precisely what the frame is like, and this is the initial image I'm looking at, and I'm just doing manual focus in here so I can see right at the very front here and then go through to the back, and this allows me to then just do a bit of gardening work here. So if I can actually get down a little bit, I can see that I've got this bit of grass right across the front here, which is really annoying. That bit there. Just take these out. Still got something right in front of the lens here. There you go, look, there you go. Got a twig there, which is going to blur the very front of the image. And I've still got another one here somewhere. Just try and tie it up as best I can. I will take that leaf out of there. I've just got back to the car now, and I've been here probably about 4.5 hours, walked just over 2 miles, and to be honest, with all the pictures I've took, I could have just probably walked about 300 yards away from where I parked with the car. So the key here really is that, especially autumn time, all the leaves are falling on the ground. They've all that pale yellow, orange and all sorts of colours, and it does make it harder to spot some of the fungi. So just take your time looking around. I've never walked more than probably about 10 feet, that's about 3 metres away from a pathway. So sometimes, especially if the vegetation is down enough that you can sensibly walk into spaces away from the main pathway, just go ahead, move over into that area and have a look. The moment you find one mushroom, there you're more than likely to find loads around. And there was times that I would be walking around, I would suddenly spot one, and there was just loads all in front of me, just looking the same sort of colour as the leaves. If you've got a really good tripod, it doesn't have to be massively expensive, but one where you can get the camera down to ideally very close to the floor level, you can get some amazing pictures down at the height of the mushrooms. You will also find that I found one that there was some mushrooms growing up a bank, probably at about 3-4 feet up, and I could position my tripod underneath it looking up. Please do subscribe, like the video, it all really helps. Look at some of my other videos. If you've got any thoughts on content, stuff like that from what you see I'm doing that might be helpful, anything I'm doing, then please do let me know and I'll try and do a video on that. But thanks a lot for watching.